right, folks. Well, here we are, getting ready for jam number 1. What a really emotional presentation, huh, Nom Nom?
I got really teary.
It was really that moment, you know. It just brought it home.
Brought it all
Oh
home, brought
no,
it
that
back.
was.
My heart swelled.
Uh,
And here we are in Jam 1. We've got Abracadaver jamming for the Betties, and we've got Diamond Cutter jamming for Texas.
yeah, as you mentioned, Abracadaver getting lead jammer on jam number 1 for the Breakneck Betties, the home team.
Before I'd even finished my sentence even.
I know. Didn't take very long. Well, as you mentioned, the Texas Roller Derby Addicts playing from teams all over the state of Texas. And we already have a cut track penalty on Abracadaver. First power jam going to Texas.
And it looks like we've got a blocker in the box for Texas. Oh, Abracadaver rejoining the pack.
Apparently, the officials decided that was not a cut. And Cadaver out and getting points.
Does she retain lead status? She does retain lead status.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Sailing through the pack like it was nothing.
Really, almost untouched.
Hot knife through butter. Diamond Cutter still being held up there at the front of the pack by a couple of Betty's blockers.
Betty's defense on lockdown right now between Bleeda, G, and Gingiraffe, able to recycle Cutter out of bounds. And that's almost a mercy call off there. And it's 3-2 on that last scoring pass, bringing the total to 11-3 in favor of the Betties.
I think that's a pretty good jam for the first jam.
Absolutely.
Many jams.
Well, if we can keep doing that, it's going to be a great evening. Really some big names on this Texas team, though. They're just a lot of Texas roller girls and a lot of very high-level players. So I believe this one's going to be a very close game.
And it looks like we've got Panda down there for Texas and Ripley for the Betties. Yeah, I was looking at the roster, and there were quite a few names that I recognized from B-Team champs.
Mm-hmm. And, Ripley has been a Betty for a long time, but first time in the jammer rotation in quite some time. Ripley, a phenomenal skater, but now being put to the test, and Ripley will get lead on her first jam of the new season. Texas completing a star pass now, but it's going to run right into Sprout and JMFK.
And Ripley getting recycled to the back of the pack there by a hit from Booty to the outside.
Sprout getting a forearm penalty. Pivot in the box. Pivot, of course, the only one that can take the star from the jammer.
Janet was our jammer there for Texas at the very end before it got called off by Ripley.
Ripley able to call off before letting Texas score any points. 3-0 in that jam. 14-3. Of course, the folks with the stars on their heads, the jammers, the only ones that can score points. All the blockers doing the defensive work and the offensive work, too, for their jammers. One of the only sports where you play offense and defense at the same time.
At the exact same time. Down on the track, we've got Ivy Cardi Attack jamming for the Betties and Trigger for Texas.
Both jammers still dealing with walls right now.
Ivy making very short work of hers there, though. Big hits up front. Ivy's out for our lead jammer. Trigger still fighting. There's another panty pass, star pass for Texas. It looks like Kat Akilzum is now our jammer for Texas.
And immediate call off by Ivy Cardi Attack before Kat can even get back in scoring range.
Before they could even put their helmet cover back on.
And it seems what I'm noticing a pattern already is that Texas is not able to stay together on the scoring passes. They do a good job of staying together at the beginning
on
of
the initials.
on the initial, but on jam starts. But once they play offense, they struggle a little bit getting back together. And I think that's something that's just reflective of being a pickup team
and just not being used to working with each other.
Exactly right.
Gallifrey out as lead jammer.
Not
Shakira.
lead. Nope, Shakira got lead.
Oh, and called it off.
But Gal was in front and takes the call off before Gal can do any damage.
That's what I get for looking at the scoreboard as opposed to the actual skaters.
You know, I'll tell you, that's very difficult seeing what team Gal is on with that checkered over the short alls there in the black and white.
It is confusing.
Well, we're going to come into Jam 5 here, back at the top of the rotation for the Betties. Abracadaver on the jam line.
And up at the top of the Texas jam rotation as well, with Diamond Cutter wearing the star for Texas.
Abracadaver pushing that front. Looks like going to get through, and does. Another lead jam for the Betties. One thing I'll say for Texas, they're very quick about getting that cover off. That helmet cover comes off very quickly as soon as lead jammer's awarded, to their credit.
Texas trying to catch a piece of Abracadaver there at the front of the pack, and Abracadaver just shakes it off.
That's what I love about the big hitty jammers. Cadaver just goes through, just like, you're not stopping me. Kata kills him again, taking the star pass honors there. Having a lot of trouble with that Betty's defense. Oh, and drone.
Abracadaver with a little hop on that last pass, making short work. And there we go. There's another few points that she puts up before she calls it off.
That's a 19-0 jam in favor of the Betties right now.
Here we are in Jam 6, and we've got Ripley up for the Betties making, both jammers making very short work of that pack. And it is a jammer race. Even though Meany has lead, Ripley was in front again. Meany calling it off before Ripley can engage the rest of the pack.
And it looks like we have a team timeout being called by Texas to try and stop the momentum of the Betties, as they are now leading 37-3.
Possibly stop the Betty bleed.
Well, team timeout being called by Coach Ramrod of the Texas Roller Derby Addicts, as it was starting to kind of get away from them. They only got lead jammer twice and did not actually even get any points those two times they had lead. Those 3 points came from a jam when the Betties had lead. So probably an opportune timeout to take right now. Try and refocus his team.
And this is one of the known hazards of sort of the pickup teams, as you said earlier, is just they don't practice together very often. They aren't doing the same intense practicing that the Betties do, and it shows. They're good skaters, but they don't necessarily know how to skate together.
That's true. It goes back to what Rocket Mean and Bonnie Thunder said in that
very moving
pregame
speech.
thing. Well, yeah, it's all about chemistry, and when you come in with an entirely new blocker core, you have to learn how to trust each other, and that's a no pass, no penalty, no lead for Ivy Cardi Attack. Lead is open right now. Your mom's favorite off to the penalty box.
And the Texas Pivot joining the penalty box there.
Yeah, the Texas Jammer is calling it off immediately after getting lead to keep Ivy Cardi Attack from getting any more points. And now we have quite a selection there in the Bud Light penalty box. 2 Betties and 1 Texas skater. So it's going to be kind of a skeleton crew out here for jam number 8.
Texas does have pack advantage with 3 blockers and a jammer on the track. They are missing their pivot, so they will not be able to pass the panty until that pivot comes back on the track.
Yep, Gallifrey, the triple threat.
Just capitalizing on some openness there in the pack. That's all she needs.
And they're going to try and run this jam to get their players out of the box. So Gallifrey asking for offense, getting it, able to stay in bounds. Oh, and then gets hit from behind. It doesn't look like a call.
She managed to make it past several downed skaters.
Well, plus the ghost point in the box. So 4 points to Gallifrey, 4 points to Texas. Oh, a quick little apex jump. And all 4 points on the apex jump were picked up.
And that's Panda, actually, picking that up for Texas very elegantly.
It looked good.
It looked great. It was in bounds, caught points.
I'm okay with not talking about everything that's going on, having a little banter between us as far as too. They can see what's going on.
So we are in a timeout right now.
It's an official timeout, so it looks like the officials gathering at center. It looks like head referee Nitsugi motioning an illegal procedure. I am not sure what they are discussing, but
hopefully we'll hear in a minute here.
Well, it doesn't look like Nitsugi is going for the microphone, so we're just going to make it up.
Sounds good.
Some kind of illegal procedure there. Oh, maybe your mom is up and down in the penalty box, so it seems like there's still confusion.
More timeouts.
So the HNSO is talking to the HR right now, so the head referee and the head non-skating official just confirming some last-minute things. So
and your mom is now sitting again.
So I'm guessing that maybe your mom left the penalty box early and was assessed another penalty. We don't have the penalty tracker board in front of us here, so
we don't. But if your mom sits for 30 more seconds, then I think that we can confirm your guess.
30 plus whatever was left on the previous penalty.
Okay.
Abracadaver, and
Meanie.
It looks like Meanie, yeah. Oh, Wheela Meanie with a great move on the inside to get lead jammer.
Yeah, just a sideways shuffle, managed to get all around those Betty's blockers.
Cadaver really only about 30 feet behind, though, so the Betties are going to try and protect some points, but and G with the takedown. Nice takedown by uppercase G there.
With an assist by Blita Kahlo.
It looks that way, and your mom's favorite standing in the penalty box now. With, looks like 9 seconds she's signaling to her team left.
You have way good eyesight. I've had LASIK and I couldn't even see that.
At my advanced age, it's amazing if I see anything.
And here we've got Ripley and Trigger.
I would like to note that since the timeout, Texas has put 10 points on the board, and the Betties have only put up 7. So perhaps a very good timeout there, as Texas has been winning since that timeout was called.
They do look like they are sticking together a little bit more, so that was probably what they were told to do.
Ramrod's a big believer in that stay together business, so that's undoubtedly what was going on. Now as JMFK goes off to the box, the Betties make a tripod there at the entrance to turn 2.
And are just holding Trigger just in place. Trigger looking for some O from her teammates, but Ripley is actually the one who gets out, and Ripley will be our lead jammer.
Ripley with a throwback uniform there. Another completed star pass by Texas.
Rago now wearing the star for Texas. Ripley looking to call it off.
Well, the penalty box now cleared for the Betties.
Just for a second.
Yep.
Because there's Skelter.
Skelter off to the box, so now Ripley's going to have to do a little bit more work. And now she elects to call that one off, and so that's 3-0 on that pass. A grand total of 7-4 for jam number 10.
Yeah, and now we're sitting at 51 points Betties, 17 points Texas. Oh, and we've got 2 Betties in the box over there.
Oh, your mom back again. So by a completely unscientific count, that's at least 3 for your mom's favorite.
Yes,
still,
bare minimum.
Still 18 minutes left.
Oh, Ivy playing some
little offense
little
there?
O-Andy herself there, running the Texas Jammer back. Texas Jammer Pandemonium Doll still out as lead jammer.
Yeah, Panda getting out lead, and Ivy having a hard time with the Texas wall right now. Lita trying to play a little solo derby there. It does not work.
Panda with a little skateboarding action there. Sails on through on one skate.
Completed pass to Drone from Ivy Cardi Attack, and the Betties have to get together here. And they are separated, and Panda is going to make easy. Oh, nice hit by Blita.
Oh.
As that jam ended, Blita made a very, very nice hit.
It was beautiful. Did exactly what it was supposed to accomplish.
But when it's all said and done, 7-0 jam in favor of Texas. Probably their best jam of this game.
I think maybe they're just getting warmed up. It's just taking them a few jams.
You know what, and I agree with you because I've seen a lot of teams that come here for the first time. They're not used to the floor. They're not used to, how officials call things. And so it really does take a little bit of time for them to get their bearings, so to speak.
Yeah.
And once they do, I think this is, wow, what a big hit.
What a big hit by Gal.
Kind of kills them, escorted to the ground courtesy of Gallifrey. Oh, and a power jam, Gallifrey.
Power jam for Gallifrey. Meany being sent to the box for Texas on a cut track.
Oh, Gallifrey effortlessly around the outside.
Betty's looking to run the pack there to get Gal through.
They're looking for a goat party, and they got one. That is Squasha being held back momentarily as the goat, now getting free, but
for Gal, all you need is a second.
It's true. This 5-point scoring passes are going away, Nom. It's going to be a thing of the past.
I've heard that. New ruling that there's no jammer point now,
No
right?
jammer lap point. It's going to, I think, next year, 2019, I think it'll take effect.
If I read the article correctly, the individuals who sort of did the research on it said that taking it away simplified the game and didn't actually change the outcome of any of the games that they had watched.
See, and that there was a and now back to the box for the Texas Jammer.
For Meany. And
Gallifrey just a little backward skating and a call off. It's going to be a power start for the Breakneck Betties. But yeah, like you were saying, I read that article as well, and they said that in the 2016 skating year, they looked at both playoffs and champs, and these are top-level officials,
right?
And there are 130 mistakes on jammer lap points.
Yeah, that there was something like only 22% of the calls were actually accurate calls.
Right, and that
in only 2 of those games would it have changed the outcome of the game.
Correct, but there were several games that were decided between 1 and 4 points. So obviously the jammer lap point not being called correctly is definitely a bone of contention. So Cadaver getting through, lead jammer, as Texas still without a jammer on track.
Cadaver trying to bulldoze her way through those Texas blockers. Meany re-entering the track at the back of the pack, facing 4 Betty blockers at this point.
Destruction penalty on 0-5. Shakira playing from RGV Banditas. Rio Grande Valley, I believe that's what they said it was. Lots of different teams, as you mentioned. And kind of kills them, of course, the retired Zebra, the retired skater, and now a very high-level official. And one skater, the captain, Spank, skates for Austin Anarchy, an MRDA team, and is former Bridgetown. Nino and Spank were fixtures here in the Portland men's derby scene before they moved to Texas. Cadaver having trouble in the apex between 3 and 4 as Texas trying to recycle. Really a good job by G to try and screen, but they are able to recycle all the way to the middle of the back straight.
G playing some heavy offense there, trying to get Cadaver out. Both teams sort of bunched up there right in turn 3. We have a no pack, and now we've got a bridge.
Rego now with jammer for Texas after taking the helmet cover, but now having to deal with Drone
and Fiorinaris.
Fiorinaris. I would really not want to.
Mostly just Drone.
Drone. And Drone getting a multiplayer block. Well, I thought that perhaps
Direction
one
of
of the other
play. Or,
one of the other officials was
oh,
summoning them back on the track, but they were actually asking for Jersey, the OPR, to come in.
gotcha.
So I thought that maybe the call was going to be rescinded, but it was not. Well, they have Ripley back on the jam line.
Up against Trigger for Texas.
Ripley, one of the more tenured RCR skaters out there.
You know, I actually got a private lesson from Ripley when I first started skating.
Ripley was my private coach for first, until that whole baby thing happened. Oh, and a cut track for Ripley. And lead jammer going to Trigger.
My private coach from the Betties was Lethal for the longest time until Lethal got drafted.
You know, and Lethal always gets some of the loudest cheering.
It's because she's amazing.
During introductions, because she's taught so many people in this building.
Yes, she has touched the derby lives of so many individuals.
So many people, and you can tell by the cheers.
Ginger Raff.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. Ginger Raff will not be goated. Not me. Going to play a little offense for Ripley here.
She's going to be a wrecking ball, not a goat.
Oh, and look at that.
Through. She sees a line on the inside there and just charges through.
Ripley now out on initial. Coach Ramrod asking for the call off and getting it. And that is going to be another, let's see, that is, have they added that 5? There it is. 10-0 jam there. 76-34. Score's getting tight, Nom Nom.
I don't know. Not very tight yet. We're not even, half and half yet. 76-34 is still 2 times plus.
You're a homer, and I love it. I'm trying to make it exciting over here, and you're like, it's not that close.
Well, I'm just not. I'm just happy the Betties are up.
Ivy cardiac attack. He's jamming against Jam It Janet. Jam It Janet out for lead, and Texas having a nice long string of lead jammers here.
Texas has definitely gotten their stuff together, has gotten their pack tactics and their team together in these past, 10 jams or so.
Oh, that is a cut track. Yep, I saw that one.
They know it.
Yeah, I saw that from way up here, and if we can see it from up here, it was obvious.
It was a very obvious one.
Yep. Well, that leaves Ivy cardiac attack
in a power jam,
but not getting, still able to. Oh, I thought they went out too. I thought and now a forearm.
Oh, so
on
that
Ivy cardiac attack. It's going to be a jammer swap.
Yes, it is. So that's going to release Jam It Janet right away. And Ivy cardiac attack probably only going to serve, 20-ish seconds of that jam?
Something
or of
like
that penalty?
It was probably a little less than that because Janet was not standing. Wow, there was impact. Okay. How many bets are we going to take on how many times I screw up Jam It Janet?
You read my mind because I keep wanting to do the same thing.
I don't even know if we're allowed to say that.
I don't either, but isn't there a song in the Rocky Horror Picture Show that is what we keep trying to say?
Can I make a terrible admission to you?
You've never seen it, have you?
I've never seen it.
That is a terrible admission.
I'm sorry, I haven't.
Then somebody out there on the live stream needs to confirm that there is, in fact, a song in the Rocky Horror Picture Show with the name that we keep trying to not call Jam It Janet.
Yes, yes. Message either Nom Nom or myself and let us know of that. Otherwise, we'll have to Google it the next time out.
If you're gonna message Hamtrak, you also need to harass him for not ever watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show because that is a crime.
I've never admitted that publicly until just now.
And you didn't just admit it publicly; you admitted it really publicly.
To like the 4 people that are watching us.
That's still more than just me.
Well,
and the internet is forever.
Texas wins another jam there, 10-6, 82-44. I would like to point out that is
more than half.
Yeah, it's more than half the distance now.
Okay, you can start being more excited.
All right. Oh, dear. Let's see here. 1975 film. That was a year before I was born.
Or you can just up the tension in the game now.
You got me Googling Rocky Horror now. Oh, we have some Jammer on Jammer.
We got Jammer on Jammer, and we are going to try to eat the baby here, it looks like.
Yeah, Panda. Yeah. You know, what a statement to say. Not only are you the WFTDA MVP, I'm going to I'm going to actually. Oh wow, she just ate
Oh, and
herself.
she ate herself. That was poorly played. It was a beautiful try.
There you go.
It's true. I was correct. It is song number 2 on the soundtrack of the
Song
Rocky
number
Horror
2.
Picture Show.
Yep, that it was. Well, Panda, now on no pass, finally out on initial. Gallifrey still not lead.
Oh, very nice little apex jump. However, it doesn't look like Panda fully stayed in bounds on that, so she is recycling herself.
But I thought you couldn't go to the outside if you were out of bounds on the inside.
Not being a ref, I'm going to defer the answer to that statement that had a question mark at the end.
I'm going to find an official at halftime and kind of ask that question because I thought that wasn't a thing, but I could be wrong.
Susan B. Animosity really doing a great job of keeping Panda back here at the back of the pack, along with JMFK.
Yeah, Susan missed a lot of last year after an ankle break. And now we still don't have a lead jammer. Now
we have a lead jammer.
That's called announcer's curse. And Gallifrey will call that off, scoring 0 points. Looks like 5 for Texas. With 6:40 left in the first period, Captain Sprout talking with the head referee Nitsugi. Looked like maybe talking about a back block. Nitsugi motioning that it was on the side in a legal target zone. We have both teams with a skater in the box. Wow, drone! Oh my
just
gosh.
knocking Shakira, just blasting her to the ground on the outside there.
I think that was a sleigh ride just about. I mean, just got low and, man, that was incredible.
Shakira looking for that inside line, only to be shut down by Gingeraf.
Abracadabra, just my favorite style of jamming is just bulldozing through. She's so very good at it.
I don't jam, but I sure as heck admire those who do.
Boy,
and I think that if I did jam, that would be my style.
Yeah, you have to kind of work to your body type. And Abracadabra going to call that jam off. Now, the Betties sure needed that 9-0 jam after giving Texas a long streak of comeback points. The Betties have answered with fervor.
Good use of a word. Fervor.
You like that, huh?
I have a horrible habit of using 1 or 2 words entirely too much when I'm announcing. I usually actually have a set of thesaurus words up here so that I don't use the same word over and over and over again.
Well, if you don't know, this is our first time calling a game together, and I'm very excited to call a game with you, Nom Nom. We've been friends since pretty much the beginning of my roller derby.
The beginning of mine as
yours
well.
Yours too, yeah, since the very beginning. So it's nice to meet up in this.
In this venue.
Yeah, in this sort of circumstance, I guess.
I feel like announcing with you is sort of like coming full circle for my announcing so far. Like I've announced with King, and now I've announced with you, and it feels like coming home.
Look at Ripley just cutting. You'd never know that Ripley is not normally a jammer. She's just doing these great spin moves and wow, trying to play a little bit of defense too. What? And that's
what
just
track awareness.
Ripley is just so derby smart. Just so derby smart. And it's just fun to watch.
It's all so much fun to watch.
Because I watch all these skaters and it's like, God, I wish I could do that.
Seriously.
Oh my gosh. That's okay. We're learning. We're learning right now. We're at practice.
This is a type of practice.
It's
absolutely a type of practice.
That's what it is. Practice for all of you too at home. Both of you.
All 3 of you.
Oh, Ivy Cardi attack with a little bit of a forearm there.
Oh, and we hear some whistles.
And we'll get called for it. Yep.
There it is.
There's the forearm call. And, there was a
Texas
star
with
pass.
Another star pass.
Well, that means this is going to be a 2-minute jam.
Panda hoping to capitalize on Ivy being in the penalty box. Oh, and it looks like there is another Betty blocker over there.
That's uppercase G. Now, here's a problem with
Ooh, big hit by Drone.
Drone.
To the outside. That will be.
Drone is taking no prisoners.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a no pass, no penalty.
Someone
they
else.
did recycle her a little bit.
Somebody else recycled Drone back, and it wasn't as bad for Panda. Oh, Ivy back on track and out on initial. Wait, Drone's giving out some hits and is spending a lot of time on the track. Ivy trying to do this this jamming thing here with a Texas 4-wall, getting some help from G. Now G having to bridge. Now G calling her wall forward so she can help play offense. Very good pack play here by the Bettys, as now they have to drop back to bridge.
Oh, man. Ivy just pushing against those Texas blockers. And they are not giving her an inch that she isn't absolutely working for. Still looking for some O from G there. Whistles on the track.
Yep.
Oh, Ivy is out.
And collecting points. Remember, this jam is 2 minutes long. Still another 10 seconds to go. No jammer can call off.
Panda was down on a knee there. I think that the Betty's blockers are really, really making her work hard.
Well, Panda's not looking like they're having a whole lot of fun right now, so.
I don't think when faced against Bleeda and Drone that I would necessarily be having very much fun either.
They're making a good pair tonight. They've really done some really, really good stuff out there. I'll tell you what, those short alls from Gallifrey are really throwing me off because it doesn't look red.
There's no red. It's just black and white. So Gallifrey up against Shakira, and Gallifrey, before we could even finish introductions, is out and lead jammer. Hoping to open that gap between the two teams even more than this 57-103 spread.
Yep, 1 minute left in period one. How are the Bettys going to play it?
With Gal on the track, I think they're probably just going to try and run it myself.
They would have to. Well, and the call off there with 50 seconds left. So there will be one more jam without a clock stoppage. Looks like a back block call after the fact on your mom's favorite. At halftime here, I'm going to have to go check out the penalty tracker there and see how that's going. Coach Demo and Cap Navius having a chat with her in the penalty box.
Possibly telling her how many penalties she's racking up there.
Well, fortunately, we have these screens now that are telling. Everyone can look up and see what it is. Kind of kills them jamming for Texas right now up against Cadaver. Wow, it's a good flipping wall by the Bettys here. The offense coming from Tricks, and the Bettys wall is just taking it in stride.
Cadaver is taking a seat in that Bud Light penalty box. I am not quite sure for what.
Lead jammer going to Cataclysm. The Bettys trying to protect their points, and your mom's favorite gets through. Wow, big one from Cat. It was legal target zone.
Drone hitting Cat to the outside there.
Farrah Nerys is going to have to play a little bit of offense there for Cadaver, who's now out of the penalty box. Cadaver just bulldozing through with a little help from Farrah Nerys. And the jam will get called off, and that's going to bring us to halftime. We better get going on some halftime entertainment.
We should.
We'll see ya in 15 minutes.
And here we are back from halftime, and we've got Ripley up against Pandemonium. Ripley getting out of the pack rather quickly, picking up lead jammer status. That was a rather heart-pumping halftime.
Hey, you make a great velociraptor.
Yep. For the record, anybody on the stream who might have seen that, Hamtrak did not tell me ahead of time that he was going to have contestants chase me. So that was sort of off the cuff.
Yeah, I thought it would make a nice new degree of difficulty for you.
I just thought I was going to casually stroll back and forth, maybe do a couple jukes here and there.
Well, I didn't want them throwing it at you and hurting your costume, so I figured.
No, instead you have them chase me down and shepherd hook me with with hula hoops.
You know what? The crowd loved it.
That's all that really matters.
That's true. We're here for the show, people. Look at Gallifrey on the outside. Oh my gosh.
Shakira is still getting held up by some Betty's blockers.
Yeah, that was
All
uppercase G.
four of them, actually.
Yeah.
And that was uppercase G again.
G is having quite a great game. Up there in with Ginger Aff and your mom's favorite, who has 5 penalties so far on this game.
Oh, you did check the penalty tracker.
I
Good.
did. And your mom is in a little bit of penalty trouble. Looks like Spank off to the box.
And Rago giving Gal a little bit of trouble up there. Gal looking for some O from Ginger Aff, which she got.
And Coach Demo asking for the call off and is going to get it. That is a 4-0 jam for the Betties. 119-66.
You can still increase your tension. It's still not double the score.
Is it warm in here, or is it just me?
I think it's just you.
My word.
Rather hot this evening, Hamtramck.
Running up and down the stairs with this scarf on.
Should have done it in a dinosaur suit.
I know. I was wondering if it was going to
That thing is
fog up on you.
That is a sweat tent.
Sweat tent. That is a sweet smell in place after a few minutes, huh? Wow, Cadaver just barreling through. Oh! Big hit by Susan B. Animosity on 0-0-0. Booty Queen. Kata kills him stepping out of bounds, but apparently not having to yield to Justine Tip. It is a no pass. No, it was signaled no pass. Now it's signaling lead. So that's lead for Kata kills him.
Justine there was giving Kat quite a hard time before they got out and got lead.
Multiplayer block going to trigger.
Abra looks like with or Cadaver with a star stash. Trying to put it on there again at the end before the jam did get called.
And 3 points being signaled for Texas there. 27 minutes left, and this game is far from decided.
Oh, yeah, this is like playing a whole second game, not just a second half.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is...
You know, and this is the thing that I absolutely love about roller derby is we've got two jammers facing off on that Ron Tonkin jam line there, and all they are is smiles and happy and chit-chat back and forth together. They play aggressively on the track, but when it comes down to it, everybody who plays roller derby really just enjoys it. They have a good time.
Yeah, most people do. And it's funny how the switch does flip, though. You know, when you're both sitting there as Ripley gets lead jammer again.
And it looks like G headed to the box on a cut track.
It was. It's just one of those things where everyone's just exchanging pleasantries and everything. But that whistle blows, it's like, now I'm going to knock you down.
So that was a really neat play that didn't quite realize itself, but Trigger came barreling from the back of the pack up to the front to try and give some assistance to one of their teammates and actually launched them laterally trying to hit the Betty's jammer. It didn't realize itself, but it was very awesomely done.
It's the thought that counts, I guess.
It was beautifully executed minus hitting the jammer.
Which kind of, well, we'll just leave that one alone. One blocker for each team.
It was pretty.
In the box. So that's a pivot line start. And, staying in bounds is Panda.
Doing a little matrix move there on the outside line.
Fancy footwork there, but now
Not saving her right there. That was a little bit of Sprout and a little bit of Skelter and a little bit of Lethal.
And together, that is a very, very
That's a lot of blocker.
wall.
Yes.
That is a very unfriendly wall, but not getting back together immediately. G going to play just bridge right now. They need him to come up so they can play offense, but that's not going to happen, and Ivy doesn't need it as Ivy gets through for lead. Panda looking for some sort of a call and not going to get it.
No, it looks like she was hit to the outside by G again and again.
5-point pass for Ivy Cardi attack as we have a completed star pass to
Janet.
And the call off looks to be in time, and another 4 for Ivy, total of 9. on 132-72.
The Betties are going to start this jam with a slight advantage as Texas does have one blocker standing in the penalty box.
Well, I thought you were going to say they were starting with an advantage because Gallifrey is jamming.
Well, that's like an additional advantage. Betty's also starting an advantage because Gallifrey wearing the star for the Betties this jam. We do have a timeout, it looks like.
I did see.
Is it my favorite type of timeout, though?
It is a taco timeout.
Oh, those are always my favorite timeouts.
Because who doesn't love Porque no tacos?
Porque no. You mean
Porque.
Porque, yes.
Yeah. Yep. So it is an official timeout. It did come after Coach Demo of the Betties had a quick word with Nitsugi, and so now the NSOs in the middle are being brought into it. So not sure what was discussed. There are now 2 Texas skaters in the penalty box. So
now there's 3 advantages for the Betties, 2 blockers and Gallifrey. I think we just signaled the end of that timeout. We've got quite a hefty Betties cheering section underneath us this evening.
well, and it's Don Juan who's really riling up the crowd, doing a great job as Purple Rain, who's really coordinating all of these cheers. A little bit of offense from
man,
Blida.
that was beautiful. Gallifrey flipping around backwards, skating around the other skaters. She just makes it look effortless.
Well, she's going to have to get as many points as possible before calling. Now they want to try and clear that box, so they are going to run this jam. Wow! Drone strikes again.
If Drone doesn't get MV blocker, I might be a tad upset.
Drone is just a force. Look at that. No quit until they're out of bounds. Oh, and not drawing the cut. And that's just, I think it's been said probably too many times, just why I'll say it again, that your body type just does not matter in roller derby.
At all.
You are completely valuable if you're big. You're valuable if you're small.
You're effective at any size,
You know,
shape, height.
Because there's a technique in this sport that's going to play to your skills.
Absolutely.
So it's always a wonderful thing that everybody, nobody said that before, is valuable in
Is a
roller
derby
derby.
body.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, man, Diamond Cutter making short work of that bunch up there in the pack right before the pivot line.
That was one of the fastest lead jammer status for Texas that we've seen yet.
I'm glad you qualified that for Texas.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're not talking Gallifrey, but that was very, very nice footwork by Diamond there, and it looks like a forearm penalty on Cadaver.
Cadaver taking a seat in that penalty box while Diamond Cutter is in a power jam. And I got to tell you, the Betties don't have the lead on Texas that they did at the start of the game.
Texas opting to ice Cadaver in the box.
Smart decision.
And so that is going to bring out a power jam start for the Texas Roller Derby Addicts. "21 minutes left in this game. Still plenty of time. Betty's trying to get up on that pivot line.
Janet.
Taking
in a power
out
jam.
their own skater.
Their own pivot.
The pivot who had to yield anyway. I believe there was a
G.
false start.
And G getting sent to the penalty box on a forearm.
Janet getting lead.
Cadaver re-entering the track. With the star in her hand. Oh, looking for a little apex hop. Getting slammed out of bounds by Rago.
Yeah, Rago was not having any of that apex business. So that's going to bring us into jam number 9. Score has not moved. We have Lethal, Susan B, Animosity, and Skelter blocking for the Betties as G is still in the box. Shakira trying to get through, finds their way to Skelter, but falls. And the Betties are able to reform.
Ivy looking for a crocodile spin to the inside and just not quite planting her toe stops inbounds, getting recycled, but only for a second.
Texas is able to reform, and neither jammer having a whole bunch of success right here. Oh, but Shakira able to stay in bounds, dropping one knee, but staying in bounds, getting lead jammer. And now Ivy getting recycled back by Booty Queen.
Booty Queen really causing a lot of troubles there at the back of the pack. I almost said at the booty of the
I
pack.
was going to say, are you making a back joke there? We'll take puns all day long. Shakira opting to call that one off. And 4 points scored for Texas. Considering how long they had lead for, big credit to the Betty's defense on that for limiting that to 4. Well, and there are 2 Betties in the box, one for just a pair of seconds. So that's going to bring your mom and Drone, still a formidable twosome. Ripley is going to try and play a little defense to help kill some of that penalty time. Oh, and she's able to get out.
She's able to draw her back.
But to the inside, that makes it tough because they can always cut around.
Yeah, it's a shorter distance on the inside than it is to the outside.
Forearm penalty on Drone.
And Diamond Cutter picking up lead. Ripley looking for her pivot. And it's
Rago, I think.
Or is it Booty Queen?
That's
It's Rago. And Rago making that really, really tough for Ripley to pass that star. Well, actually, Ripley can't pass the star because her pivot's in the penalty box.
Right, but, it looked like it was going to your mom there, but no. Now Ripley's actually telling everyone to just make a wall. They're just going to make a 4 wall out of this. Maybe they'll forget about Ripley long enough for Ripley to make an escape here.
I think they're just waiting for Drone to come back
Look,
on.
there she goes. There she goes. Yep, she sensed the wall was coming back, and then it just didn't work. They were able to reform.
Drone skates coming out from underneath her. Just a little too much heat.
So Ripley might play a little more, little defense right here on Diamond. Oh, and Diamond read it, but
still stopped her.
Yep, absolutely. Slowed the momentum so that
the Betties could catch her.
Yep, no momentum going into that Betty wall. This is a big jam for Texas, but it's not coming without a price.
Drone now wearing the star for the Betties.
Ramrod getting the call off there. 15-0 jam. Big jam for Texas. Less than 50 points behind. But that one came at a cost. Diamond was tired after that jam.
Diamond was very tired. It was very evident. But yeah, that score is it's narrowing down. We've got 42 points separating these teams. That's a couple of jams. Three of them, really, if you throw those 15-point jams up there each time.
Yeah, and that's what Betties do, though. The Betties wear you down. That championship game last year against GNR, they just wore GNR down. So this is what's happening right now is the Betties are just trying to wear Texas down. Gallifrey.
That lateral movement. She can fake people out so well and get them thinking that she's going to go, just, casual little hop.
Such a late.
She did get hit in the face there.
Yeah.
She's looking for the penalty.
She's asking for the high block now, but.
So she's going to call it, and I would not be surprised if there is a Betty's timeout and an official review.
Well.
I mean, again, if we can see it from up here.
Yeah, but you know what? If they were staring right at it and didn't call it, an official review is not going to get it for you either. They are not electing to go for that official review. High block is, for now, the only call where the offense does not have to have impact.
Oh, interesting.
So if contact to the head is made, regardless of whether or not it has impact on the play, it is still a penalty. Now, back block is going to go into that also for next year.
Okay.
But as it sits right now, high block is the only one that does not have to have impact to still be a penalty. Speaking
And
of
is that
penalties,
just because it's such a dangerous block?
exactly. I mean, you don't want people messing with their spines, and I think what they were figuring out was that a larger skater can take a bigger hit, and that doesn't make it any safer for them.
Right.
But it wouldn't impact the play quite as much. Or even if you had a smaller player that was being strongly braced by their teammates and could take a big hit in the back, you certainly don't want that. And Cadaver's going to go for a back block.
For a back block. We talk about it, and then we see it. So this does leave Texas in a power jam, and there is no lead jammer at this point. There was a star stash or star pass on Texas. Rago now jamming for Texas.
So this is going to go a full 2 minutes. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next year with that change to the back block penalty for these big bulldozer-style jammers. And
might really hamper them.
It could, or even smaller jammers that just come into packs very, very hot. What's going to happen? How is that going to change the game?
Yeah, I would say that it's definitely going to alter how some skaters skate through the pack.
I'm not going to jam ever again.
Well, I'm lucky in that respect, in that I'm never going to start jamming. So
you always say that, and then something happens. Oh, and look at Cadaver's footwork. Nicely done to get through and collect 5 points. So this is a 10-10 jam right now with right at 14 minutes left in this game. Oh, Cadaver!
Beautiful.
Hangs on. What the footwork? That was amazing.
What the footwork. I thought we were going to have a sensor moment there. That was
see what
beautiful.
I did there?
I see what you did there.
Cadaver with just some amazing footwork there. Able to stay on inbounds and on the feet for most of that. And now it was 16-13. Betty's winning that jam by virtue of that footwork. Here we are, jam 13.
Gingeraf wearing the star for the Bettys.
Whoa.
Not what I was expecting when I looked down, then looked back up for confirmation.
And getting lead. And power jam.
Oh, wow. Some big hits by Meany up there at front, but Gingeraf just sort of shaking them off.
Well, Ginger's a big body out there too. It's you can put a big hit on Gingeraf and she's not gonna fall like some other skaters will. Look at that!
Look at that!
Just a big
Diamond
shoulder
Cutter
check.
tried.
It didn't even look like it phased Ginger at all.
And that elegant African savanna animal with the red hair. Gingeraf, one of my favorite skaters.
Oh, look at that! Oh! Fortunately, Diamond going out of bounds and Ginger able to step back on 5 more.
Casually
and gonna
calling it off.
Icing the jammer right at 10 seconds left in that penalty. Power start for the Bettys. Now starting to open it up again. 15-0 on that jam. 181-116. Right at 12 minutes left in this game. Betty's breaking it out a little bit here.
I'm not gonna make any predictions about the end of this game. I'm just gonna let it play out. 12 minutes is a long time still.
It certainly can be, but when the Bettys have power jams, we're going to see what happens. It's only a 10-second power jam, though.
But it's going to be enough, hopefully, for Ripley to maybe become
push that
lead
front
jammer.
wall.
Oh, and we just had a collision between the Texas jammer and one of our refs.
Well, we'll have to see if that turns into a
penalty.
A penalty, or technically it could be
an ejection.
An ejection. It depends on what the intent was. If it's an innocent thing,
From what I saw, it looked fairly innocent. Spaceman with a smile on his face at the end of it, but we'll see.
It takes a lot to knock Spaceman down. Well, Shakira getting lead. I'm not a small man, and I ran into Spaceman at full bore last weekend, and nothing happened.
Maybe you guys just canceled each other out.
Well, and that was a great play by Ripley to take the jammer out and force the call off by going backwards.
That's what I get for taking my eyes off the track for 2 seconds. All of a sudden, I was like, "Why is Ripley on the other side of the track skating backwards?"
Well, Spaceman's looking like no big deal,
Yeah.
and because I believe Bling and Nitty are talking to Spaceman about it, and it looks like Spaceman's saying no big deal, so nothing's going to come of it, which is, I think, probably the right call.
Yeah. Ivy and Jam it, Janet. I almost did it. Almost.
But you saved it beautifully, Noms.
Rago getting sent to the box.
Oh, and Rago almost having a collision with an official.
Almost 2 of them. Janet is out as our lead jammer. Those are some sparkly knee pads Janet has.
There's an awful lot of sparkles on the Texas side. Diamond's practically...
Well, her name is Diamond Cutter.
I mean, yeah. Janet trying to get all the points, only gets 3. And gets the call off. And Coach Demo back out to the center to have a chat with Nitsugi, the head referee. Time is running out, though, as this jam's going to start. So,
trying to get all the skaters who aren't skating off the track there. And we've got Cadaver again up against Meanie. 2 very big sort of bowling ball, wrecking ball, steamroller jammers.
wow, but the great footwork. Oh, not great enough. It's a cut track call on.
And you saw her just, dang it.
In true Texas style. Gosh darn it.
Darn it.
Golly gee darn shooks. Look at Cadaver.
Cadaver racking up more points. Doesn't even look tired.
About to cross the 200 mark here.
Looking
for
for
the
some
Betties.
O from your mom there for a second before your mom went back to pick up that Texas.
Well, they're trying to
goat.
they're trying to pick up this 4-wall to goat this Texas skater so they can push their players out of play. But hey, Rago and Spank are just going to go to the box instead. Spank is going
no
to end
room
up
for
in the
Spank,
queue.
Yeah.
Well, Spank's in the queue, so Spank's going to have to go as soon as somebody stands.
Right, they will be recalled into the penalty box.
So they're going to have to stay on the track for the next jam. Spank is getting off the track, and I think they're going to have to stay on track.
And
there it is.
Ramrod just telling her that's what she needed to do.
Yep.
Some confusion on the Texas team on who's being fielded. There we go.
So as soon as someone stands in the Bud Light penalty box for Texas, Spank will be told to return to the penalty box.
Oh, Gingiraffe. I'm not going to say that it's easy to get out when there's only 2 blockers against your 4, because it's not. But again, Gingiraffe just making it, the Betties just making it look so seamless.
Ginger's doing such good work on the lines. She's recycling back, but I don't know if she knows that she's still in. She's doing a great job of saving it. Justine Tip getting the call, but not Susan V. Animosity. Some confusion about.
Ooh, Diamond Cutter down.
Oh, whistles everywhere.
Everywhere.
Penalties. It looks like 3 Betties
Oh,
trying to go to the box. So now Skelter's
gonna
is
get
in the
recalled.
queue. Yep. So as it stands now, only Lethal and Skelter on the track right now. And it's going to be for a long time because all the Betties went almost at the exact same time. Oh, Skelter doesn't quite get enough. And Skelter is now being told to go to the penalty box.
I thought Gingiraffe was actually going to turn around and go, oh, we're getting some dancing from Panda down there. A little staying alive action.
Well, you can't say they're not having fun. Betty's still managing to win this jam. 16-12, 2:11 now, 133. Starting to open up now, Nom Nom, with about 6 minutes left. But this has been an exciting game.
It's been a really, really good game. These are the type of games that I'm really happy that I get chosen to announce for.
Absolutely. I stole that absolutely word from my buddy Puns. Oh, look at Ripley getting through.
Oh, and
Yes!
Booty just trying, but not able to push Ripley at all.
Ripley using the momentum to her advantage. getting lead jammer. Going to try and get as many points as possible before calling off here. Got 1, 2, he's got 3, looking for all 4.
Oh, and that booty is just holding her up again.
Got it all, and they want to run it. They got Skelter out now, so they're saying to run though. I think they're just gonna.
And Booty Queen being sent to the penalty box with a forearm there at the very end.
Well, that'll be another ghost point for Ripley, who has now made it through the second pass.
Cat now the jammer for Texas.
Ripley's like, but I don't want to keep running it. Nice
But you're
offense.
doing so good, Ripley.
Nice offense by Skelter, and then the stink eye for the person she played offense against. Skelter, that was savage. Oh, my. 9-4 on that jam. Jam number 18 coming down to it. 4.5 left.
And we've got a score of the Breakneck Betties 220 to the Texas Roller Derby Addicts 137.
Which for a pickup team,
It's pretty darn good.
to be going against a high level, these are the defending Rose City Rollers home team champions here.
When I announced for the Wreckers tournament last month, one of the teams that was playing in that tournament was also a pickup team. They were from Eastern Washington.
Chaos Theory.
Chaos Theory.
They're out
And
of
they were-
Tri-Cities.
Yeah, and they were also a super amazing dynamic team that even though they were a complete pickup team, once they got their mojo going, just like Texas Roller Derby Addicts here, like they did an amazing job.
And they're great people, too.
They are.
Well, it looks like we have an official timeout here. Penalty box coming out to talk with the penalty trackers.
And lots of dancing down on the track. Janet really going for it.
So I think the conversation has to do with points because I see one of the jam referees on the phone talking with the scorekeepers. So that is probably the nature of this official timeout. That is a taco timeout.
That's the best type of timeout.
Porque no?
Porque, yes.
All right.
Porque always.
Porque, uh-huh.
So watching Janet dance like that as well as she is, I'm definitely going to be going to the after party tonight.
I'm old. I'm going to bed.
No, you're not.
I've been up since 1 a.m.
That is no excuse,
That's
Sam Jack.
absolutely an
No,
excuse.
it's not. You should just make it a full 24 hours. Come out. I'll buy you a drink.
Oh, and look at Don Juan, the Purple Rain, getting everybody into it.
If you don't come to the after party, who's going to represent the announcers besides me?
You.
I was hoping you'd go so that I didn't have to go, actually.
Well, let's get Tofurious
Furious
and Otter to
to
do
go.
it.
Just kidding. I am going to the after party. Possibly in my Velociraptor suit.
Oh my gosh, how amazing would that be? Forearm call on Meanie, and Ivy is your lead jammer. Shakira is able to get through the Betty's wall, and all it takes is one little pass through, as there is only one blocker on the track for Texas until just now.
Janet really trying real hard.
There's
Doing
not,
the best she can.
not a lot you can do
What
when you're
she's got.
Yeah. Oh, that was a big hit there, but Shakira having to
Drone
start behind
again.
Drone. Yeah, Drone's.
That's a drone sprout JMFK triad down there.
I always like to say that's a really tough wall to get through, but I can't really think of any of these walls that
aren't tough.
I know. They're all here for a reason.
Maybe some of the juniors' walls I could be okay with. Maybe.
I don't know. I've seen some of those too. Some of those look pretty tough. Unless you can just pick them up and move them, but I think that's a forearm penalty.
Is it?
Yeah, because I've actually seen jammers get penalties for forearms for hugging each other mid-jam.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Drone. Oh, able to take out Pan.
Cadaver.
But Panda saw Drone go to a knee, and that's all you need.
Yeah, and Peyo Du's now up there hassling Cadaver, letting her go. That looks like that was an out-of-play block on Peyo Du's.
Yep, I believe so. This four-wall doing some work on
Well,
Panda.
Cadaver. Oh, and Cadaver is in a power jam right now. Did we say that?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I didn't until just this
I'm
moment.
glad you're much smarter than I am.
And this is Meany again, just making life hard for Cadaver. Just side to side. No pass, no penalty on Cadaver, letting her go.
5 points for Cadaver as now Panda back on track. Oh, Cadaver just drills Panda. Oh, my. It's like, welcome to the pack. Welcome to my hangar.
Oh, and Drone, again, trying to catch big pieces of the Texas Jammer.
Fira going off to the penalty box. We have a successful star pass.
Drone is one of those blockers that is like, she be tiny but fierce.
Well, a lot like, Dylan Botts and just other skaters that are just...
They can just get low and take you out at the knees.
Absolutely. If you take away the lower body, you have nothing. Very quietly, the Betties have really opened this up. 246, 140, 128 left in this game. So possibly the last jam of the game here. Ginger Aff on the jam line.
Against Diamond Cutter. In her super sparkly.
I was going to say, how could you tell that was Diamond?
That's actually how I know her now. It's just from those super sparkly everythings.
Yeah, you can't really
miss
Diamond on the track there. Ginger Aff trying to get through, trying to follow Justine Tip through. And she gets,
Diamond Cutter, big hit on Sprout.
But look at Ginger Aff, has only got 2 to beat there in the front.
Ginger Aff really using her momentum to...
Oh, Ginger's going to get it!
There she is.
45 seconds left on the period clock. The game is now in Ginger's hands. Coaches are saying, watch the clock. This game is yours. As long as no penalties happen on Ginger Aff, this game will end in 30 seconds. Betty's in victory formation here on the
on
bench.
The outside.
Gallifrey is geared down. Oh, a little Mohawk action on the outside. Ginger Aff continuing.
On this last 10 seconds of this period, and it looks like Ginger Aff is going to close this game out for us.
And even go through. Oh, no, is this an apex jump?
Trying.
And that is a illegal contact for hitting
on the
Spank.
last second of the period.
And so now this penalty will now she's lead again. Now she's leading and a call, and that's going to possibly end the game.
All right, we've got an unofficial score of the Breakneck Betties 256 to the Texas Roller Derby Addicts 147, folks.
I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm going to go down and do MVPs. It was great to have you along with us.
Thank you so much, Amtrak,
awesome.
and we'll see you next time.